This year's science fair, for this year we started the process way back. The high school students had a broad range of categories to choose from, ranging from physics, chemistry, biology, all the way to psychology. Some of them even chose statistics and political science. And middle school students chose from chemistry, biology or physics. This time, what was different is we also insisted that the students had a purpose behind their project, which is, it's not that they do a project and finish it, but they also think about what would be the application of the concept that they chose the projects based on. So I think this year's science fair projects had more meaning to it, and it was a learning experience for all the students, and I'm sure they enjoyed it.
Okay, our project was about what kind of helping global warming, helping to alleviate global warming by adding vinegar into milk. It sounds crazy, but it actually works.
Our project for science fair is called self-deception, and we are trying to generate scenarios where PS high school students can, is likely to undergo the process of self-deception. And we're trying to capture that concept and see whether or not it actually does exist or if it's just a fake phenomenon. Yeah.
So our project is about us trying to average out or trying to find out the extent to common household kitchen substances on their effects in anti or the opposite of microbial growth within over a period of time, and how and which common household's kitchen substance was most vulnerable or the opposite of that.
The experiment is that we have two samples, and one of them is just milk, and the other one is vinegar and milk. And
we kind of try to find out what will be the optimum amount to put in so that the extra vinegar won't float around.
Right.
So we ended up with a couple of trials and errors, and then we came up with that. We do know that in order to run a fire, there has to be oxygen. And the carbon dioxide released from the milk is because it's decomposing. That means the bacteria and the micro animals are taking in the oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. So there will be less oxygen inside. And that's why we decided to use the fire to kind of test out.
We borrowed the definition of self-deception from Thomas Gilovich. How we know what isn't so, that's his book. So we found that the easiest way to capture self-deception would be the fourth part of this definition, which is altering results in ways that we can't clearly perceive. We tell our subjects that they are participating in an experiment regarding cataracts and their health.
So we first give them a survey where they fill out information about their eye history and prescriptions and whether they wear contacts or glasses. And then after that we give them a test where they, those circles with the color dots where they have to see whether they're colorblind, and then we gave them several tests. And after that we do our actual experiment, which is tying their lens between one blink and the next. And we do for each subject they perform 3 trials. Yeah, and then afterwards we separate them into 3 groups, and then we give them different lectures.
So the purpose of all these forms and tests prior to the trials are to convince them that the experiment was about eye exams and related to eyes. So then after they're fully convinced, during the lecture we feed them with random report names which they probably wouldn't know, of very Russian names of for scientists, and then we tell them that we're trying to test out this correlation between the cataracts, but it's slightly different for group A and B, and then after that we retested them.
I think it was during the time when we were thinking about the topic at that time. I think it was during the seasonal change around the flu season around October or November, when the season changed from fall to winter. And then at that time people around us were getting sick a lot, and then absences, and then the whole and then the entire class is some classes are really empty. So then we started connecting these daily events and seeing how it can be implemented on our topic, and that's how we got the topic.
Okay.
It's really important to do things in a timely manner.
Very true. Okay. And in our presentation, I think at the end we really pulled it together and then we had each other's backs really seriously. Like we weren't joking around at all. Like when Judge came, we really came together, and then when Jenny didn't really know or like was stumbling apart on a certain part, I would step in and then kind of just clear the air and then make her life easier.
Originally, when we researched on the background issue, the common household substances we chose were more on antibacterial. But then, since we weren't able to have a controlled substance of just bacteria, we had to expand our question into microorganisms instead, and then observe on this fact. However, this also affects on our conclusion because in some cases we aren't able to particularly identify whether these are bacteria, germs, or whether they're fungi or not. So when experimenting, we have to consider these variables, and when writing the results and analysis, it would have effects on how accurate it would be sometimes.
Right.
Personally, I think like the point of science fair is to teach the general student body about the scientific methods, right, and how to be, and try to be like the methodology of like carrying out an experiment. I feel like because if that's the main point, then they really should open up to a lot of different things. For example, in world literature, we learned about theories and how to apply them, right? Even though this won't be considered science, but this is the first course that I've ever taken that's seen literature as a more systematic and scientific way. So I was thinking maybe make it more interdisciplinary.
I really like the science fair because like it helped diversify our education. Like normally we just sit in classroom, take notes, and just take tests. But like doing science fair allow us to like find our own answers to the questions we pose ourselves, not the teacher, not what the teacher gave us. So it allows to do an experiment based on what we actually want to learn about. It gave us passion because it was what we can do what we actually want to do and learn what we want.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, as Ms. Paramount said, student-driven education.